Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another round of Modern. We have Kevin Good playing the Yorion Canister Special, aka the 80 card Blink deck. And on the right, we have my son, Moises Castrovera, playing Temur Soup. This is his own concoction he's got going on. It's a Darcy deck, but it's Temur. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. He's going to fetch into a Stomping Grounds. Or at least what I assume is a Stomping Grounds. I am apparently playing with the color at this point during the stream. I don't know why. That could be a Steam Vents. Wow, you really cannot tell because it's the color. It's a fetch that taps for red and either blue or green. Oh, good lord. Alright, cool. It was a Stomping Ground. He's going to Abundant Harvest here. I'm going to see what he calls. Surveilling a card on top. He wanted a land. He got a land. Grabbing the beautiful Misty Rainforest from Zendikar Rising Expeditions. Kevin just fetched a Roggen Triome in. And he's just going to attack for one. Yeah, this deck's pretty cool. Honestly, like, most of the Darcy, the Darcy and Ragavan Soup decks have gotten pretty stock. Right? Like, if you're playing Grixis, you're playing a lot of hand control. If you're playing the Izzet version, you rely on Murktide to do everything for you. The Jeskai version is also really just a Murktide deck. But it's a cool... Oh, I am still playing with the settings, Jesus Christ. Once again, as I said in the last video, or in the Stoneblade versus Crashcade deck, or Crashcade video, our stream had a couple of issues this week. Some frame rate stuff with the internet. So if there's any like frame rate drops, I do apologize for that. And then of course there's me playing around with settings because new computer, I had to rebuild the settings last second. So fun times. Always just fetching in a Steam Vents untapped in response to Ren trying to ping the Darcy. Wonder if he can get Delirium live. He's gonna bolt the Ren, Surveil trigger. Bauble. Sorcery. Nah, it's another fetch. Okay. I like both of these decks. And, like, the green element that Moises has is really interesting. I'm not in super love with it, but there's a couple... I think he's, like, on the right track. He's going to dash into Ragavan here. And see a treasure token come down, flipping an Arid Mesa. Like, it's so close, I think. And a couple more, like, changes to the deck, and I think he's got it. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if, like, Endurance works here. Because you can use Endurance in conjunction with your own Murktide Regent. If you put Murktide on the board, attack with it, and then flash an Endurance to bottom deck your graveyard to make the Murktide bigger. Like, during combat, it's pretty cool. And then I really like the Yorion Blink deck, too. It's got a lot of really cool elements to it. And, I mean, it just plays the best cards right now. You have everything from Solitude to Fury to Ephemerate. Like, you're literally just playing, like, the best cards right now. It's Modern Horizons Tribal. With a Sky Noodle as your friend. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to dash out the Ragavan again. Looks like Kevin has a lightning bolt for it. Yep. I'm gonna end of turn fetch. I was assuming he would get another Triumph here, yeah? I'm assuming this is not Zagoth, but Ketria. Because it would make sense for him to have the Jeskai one and the Temur one. As he is a 4-color deck. I wonder which color he like leans into the least here. Because in the past I'd say it was probably white, but with white now you have Prismatic Ending, Solitude. Like tapping 5 for a Solitude never feels bad. I can't say never. It hardly ever feels bad. Alright, fetching out of 13. Deck's got like Ice Fang Coatls. Dude, I'm about this deck. It's super sweet. I know my coworker recently just made a non-Yorion variant of the deck. I was an Eternal Witness, gonna buy back. I could buy back the Wren here. Could buy back the Bolt. Yeah. Eternal Witness is target card, right? It doesn't. Let's see. Yep, target card. And Moise is gonna play a pretty sick Japanese feature site Tarmogoyf. And it's gonna be pretty big. We see artifact, land, creature, instant, sorcery, planeswalker. So 6. Should be a 6/7. I was gonna say not a lot of things in the deck deals with a 6/7, but Prismatic Ending answers it pretty cleanly. I'm sure Kevin has those somewhere in the list. Alright, gonna play Expressive Iteration. The absolute house of a card. Honestly, if you've never played like Cast or Expressive Iteration, build a deck, play it in there, play the card. Like, it's so fun to resolve. It feels rewarding, like 90% of the time. Alright, he's gonna fetch again. I guess like the major question is if he has an Omnath in hand, so he can start getting his like his whole engine going. I don't think Moises plays counterspells. He could, but I don't think he does. Tap in the green for... Oh, what's the name of this one? It's the Enchant Land. It's not Utopia Sprawl. It's the Enchant Land draw card. It produces color of... Oh, what is the name of that card? Damn. I'm blanking and it's going to bother me. I'm going to hopefully remember it in like game 3. But it draws a card. You enchant target land, it draws a card, and then it produces a... it either produces any color or it produces green in contrast to what it usually produces. Alright, Tarmogoyf's going to attack in. We have the Lightning Bolt for game. And that'll be game 1. Pretty quick game 1 there. We're going to move to game 2. There. I think we already quick swapped into it. Kevin's going to fetch, grab a forest, and put the enchantment land into play. Abundant Girth, that's it. Yeah, enchant land, enters the battlefield, draw a card. Enchanted land has add 1 mana of any color. It's pretty cool, like, way to color fix, but also, like, cantrips you, which is nice. It's like a mini Comes Astrolabe. And Prismatic Ending on the Darcy, which is funny because the last one also caught a Prismatic Ending. He's just going to fetch out a... Probably grabbing a Stomping Ground here. Oh, he has a Triumph Zone. That makes sense. If you have the... if there is a Triumph in that color combination, there really isn't a real argument to not play it. But... Draws the Tarmogoyf for turn, has the Expressive Iteration. Cool. Plays a tap breeding pool and plays a Tarmogoyf. We have a 2/3. I think it's just land sorcery, right? Unfortunately, can't really tell from the die. Right, Kevin goes to untap. Not sure what card he just drew is. But he does have a Solitude. One, two, three, 4 lands. The turn off of doing anything relevant with the Solitude. He does. It looks like he has the Ephemerate too, though. There's an Ice Fang Coatl. Moise is going to Abundant Harvest here. Calling non-land as he added a bolt to his hand. Can't tell if he fixed the Tarmogoyf die or updated it to 3/4. Because it doesn't change. Prismatic Ending and Abundant Harvest are both sorceries. It might not matter in the grand scheme of things, but here comes a Shardless Agent. And going to cascade into a Ragavan. Which feels pretty good. Unless you cascade into another like if you have a Ragavan on the board and cascade into him already. Yeah, he can't he can't play counterspells. I forgot he's playing Shardless Agent. Alright, Evoke Solitude, pitching. Yeah, Electrolyze? I don't know what that card is, I'm not gonna lie. And then Ephemerating it. So probably gonna take the Tarmogoyf from the Ragavan here. Moise is gonna gain some life. It should go up by 4. Just passes. Path to Exile. Yeah, it looked like Path. Honestly, I think that's the first time I've seen Path at our locals. Or at least, it's definitely the first time we've seen Path on stream. No one's cast it yet, but it's the first time, the card's even been, revealed to the camera. Alright, gonna flash in the Coatl. This also gives him a good, Ephemerate rebound target, too. Because he just does it on the Coatl to draw another card here. You don't really need to attack with the guy in the air. Because if you attack with a Solitude and Moises throws the Shardless Agent in front of it, you still gain the 3 life. You deal with the creature on this board. Could just buy Yorion here. Alright, there's a red and 6. I'm gonna buy back the Misty Rainforest. What are we fetching? It's still a basic, right? Yeah, basic mountain. Kevin should still have Or no, that was game 1. I was like, he should still have the lightning bolt from the Eternal Witness, but yeah, that was the first game. Alright, gonna buy Yorion, the Sky Nomad, or the Flying Spaghetti Noodle, as we like to collectively refer to him as. He picks up a Mishra's Bauble, which is alright at best right now. It's a redraw. It's a type in the graveyard for Darcy and Tarmogoyf, but I think he'd rather draw those creatures than the Bauble right now. Alright, Expressive Iteration. Unholy Heat, Expressive Iteration, and Unholy Heat. Does he have Delirium? I guess the Bauble probably gives it to him. Yeah, land, instant, sorcery. Artifact. Or land, yeah. Does it? Does he have another instant in hand? I mean, it doesn't really matter. You can just raw Unholy Heat the Solitude for 2 damage to kill it, and then Bauble, crack Bauble. Unholy Heat the Ren 6. Okay, interesting. He can bolt the Coatl. I mean, he was probably getting the 2 for Shardless no matter what. Saving the Unholy Heat for maybe just a following big creature. Kills Yorion. Kills another red and 6 if Kevin top decks 1. Looks like he has a Fury. For a second I thought it was an Obsidian Charmaw, and that'd be pretty sick, but I don't know why he would set that in here. Charmaw on a blink deck is kinda cool, actually, now that I think about it. Because it's an ETB effect to blow up a land. I don't think it's a cast trigger. I'm pretty sure it's when it enters the battlefield. So you just, like, triple Stone Rain a Tron player. That's pretty cool. Alright, there's the Sky Noodle. Blinking only the the Solitude and the Abundant Growth. So you get the draw card. I see a Pyrite Spell Bomb, I think. And a Holy Heat. Can't tell the other 2. Tapping 3 for Shardless Agent. Yeah, that doesn't feel good. Cascades into a Consider. Keeps it on top. Draws. It's a Lightning Bolt. Shardless in decks that have like 1 mana cantrip spells are kind of weird. Also, like, Shardless into a Mishra's Bauble probably feels really bad. Like I said, I like the idea that Moises is going here with like the Temur soup idea, but I think I would cut. I think I'd cap the Shardless Agents. Or if you're really like gung ho about the Cascade plan, you could just tweak it a bit. I don't know. If you want to play Darcy and stuff, you should drop the Cascade package. Those could be endurances or other good green cards. Kevin draws a Fury. Taps 5 for the Fury. Bolts the Solitude, takes damage from the Yorion. Fetch. Grabbing a tapped Temple Garden. And what did Moisey just pick up? It looked like Warping Whale for a second, but it can't be Warping Whale. I don't think anything produces colorless in this deck. What the hell is that card? Oh, okay. It was just Abundant Harvest, but at a really weird angle. Calling non-land, grabs the bolt. Dude, for a second, the art really looked like it. It really looked like Warping Whale, and I was very confused. As a Ragavan. Dashes out a Ragavan. Attack. Doesn't hit anything of value. Triumph tapped. I think Kevin's still favored from the spot. Yorion's a pretty chunky flyer. Puts Moises on a quick clock. Pops the treasure for no holy heat. Killing the Yorion. And just hard cast the Fury. Listen, hard casting Fury hardly ever feels bad. Even on like an empty board like that, you still have basically a 6/6er. 3/3 double strike is very relevant. Alright, draw. Tax it for 6 here. I suppose Moises could flash in the dress down, unless he drew another like removal spell. Yeah, probably he's probably flashing in the dress down now, fetching to deck thin, and then get the draw trigger. Alright, so he'll just take 3 here. Saves himself some damage. Expressive duration. Buys a Solitude. And a Mesa. Pretty sure Kevin played his land for turn already, or did he? No, I guess not. He's at a point where he has so much land that, like, it almost doesn't even matter. He's got his 5 that he can tap for his elementals, and he's just good after that. Dashes Monkey again. Hard cast Solitude to deal with the Monkey. Termaglyph. Do we have an Ephemerate? Or Prismatic Ending, maybe? It looked like Kevin went to go tap the Sacred Foundry. Ah, duh. Not Sacred Foundry. Aaron Mesa. There's a Sacred Foundry, though. Opting to not shock it in. Probably doesn't have anything in his hand then. Goyf looks like he's a 6/7. Which means he can block Fury, which is cool. Without, you know, dying. Looks like Prismatic for 2. Yeah. The hand, it's the motion. Alright, so that'll be game 2. Going to Kevin good. And we're going into game 3. Moises will be on the play, and we have... Yeah, we're set for an interesting game 3. We're going to Bauble himself. See if he wants to keep the card. I love that interaction with Bauble and fetches. Like, it's so simple, right? But it's pretty cool. Alright, Kevin's going to fetch with the Misty. We are going to drop some frames here, which is lovely. And gets a tapped catcher, or Rogren Triumph. The Jeskai one. I'm assuming he's not doing anything else, so. Moses patiently waiting to cut his deck. And then flips a card. So Kevin's gonna reshuffle the deck. Was this, I guess, debating if he wants to fetch here? He shouldn't know the top card of his deck because he drew already with Bauble. I think he forgot that it was his turn. I think he had forgot he had went first, honestly. Alright, fetch the Triumph. He's gonna grab the catcher Triumph. Wouldn't make sense for him to grab a Rocker. Unless I have to update the deck name for him, but I'm pretty sure he's just on Temur. Or Rug Soup. Plays a red and 6 of his own, buys back the fetch land, and passes. It's absurd to me how much money red and 6 is worth right now. Card is insane, don't get me wrong. But man, they're like 115 right now, I believe. I think it's the last one I saw was 115. I could be wrong. It could be a little bit lower than that, or it could be higher than that. I only thought they were like 90 the other week. And my coworker was like, no, they're like 100 plus. Alright, dashes in a monkey. Will the monkey meet a cruel fate? It looks like Kevin has 2 removal spells in hand. He's gonna flash an endurance and then ephemerated. Yeah, alright, cool. It's pretty nifty. And it's a good way to shut down Darcy decks, right? If you get rid of their graveyards 3 times. 2, but... It's also a good way to prevent Tarmogoyf from being massive. He's gonna bolt the Endurance. I'm gonna trade at the Ragavan. I can't tell if that Ragavan's foil or not. I don't know if Moises has foil ones. I'm playing the settings once again. And we're dropping frames once again. Yeah. The internet just gets rocked sometimes when Modern is going. Shocks in the Stomping Ground. I wonder what he's going to do for 3 mana. Could Ewit back the Endurance? If he has an Ewit. Alright, Expressive Iteration. Looks like he picks up a Solitude. Abundant Harvest. I couldn't tell what the other card was. Alright, calls not one. Gets Prismatic Ending. Which means Ren's gonna get answered in the next turn or 2, most likely. He has a Wood of Foothills. Tapped Breeding Pool. I love that art for Breeding Pool, man. It's so good. I'm trying to think, like, all of the arts for Breeding Pool are honestly really nice. Alright, so Music and Expressive Iteration. I saw a Tarmogoyf, Misty, and I can't see the other card. But he probably honestly just takes the Misty and the Tarmogoyf. Especially if he hasn't. No, he made a land drop. I doubt Kevin missed a land drop. Oh, just passes after that. Wooded Foothills. For a second, that looked like a Valakut in his hand. And I'm pretty sure the deck doesn't play Valakut. Which, if I'm wrong, I'm going to build the deck. Because I adore Valakut the Molten Pinnacle. What is he going to consider? Leaves it on top, draws it. Untap, draw for turn. Going off of how his hand is placed, I'm assuming he drew the Darcy off of it. Gotta cast another Expressive Iteration. Get that Surveil trigger. Ren 6, Ragavan, and what looked like a land. Fetches out a forest, plays a Ren 6. Buy back one of his lands. There's the Surveil trigger from casting the Ren 6. Oh, did he just forget to uptick it? Pretty sure Ren's starting loyalty is 4, right? No, it's 3. Actually, yeah, 4 would be absurd for a 2-mana walker. 4's a little too good on a 3-mana walker. Time Raveler BB. I mean, everything dies during Holy Heat nowadays, but still. Alright, and tap 5 for a Solitude on the Darcy. Take land. He has the Monkey and Holy Heat. You could heat the Solitude here. Shardless Agent? Yeah. Cool. Heats the... That is pretty cool. That, like... Like, Shardless into Bauble feels pretty bad, but Shardless into stuff like Heat and Bolt have to feel pretty good most of the time. Bolting your opponent from the deck. Pretty sweet. It's probably feeling very similar to going Expressive Iteration and then reveal the Bolt for lethal. That's my favorite feeling in Legacy right now, because I'm a Dirty Delver player. Okay, tap into for the prismatic ending. Yep, removing the Tarmogoyf. This game has been very non-action oriented, right? No one's really attacked with anything. This has been a chunk of fetching and reactively dealing with stuff. Kevin just passes. Wonder what he has in hand. It looks like he has a bolt to deal with something. Probably a Ragavan. It's like the idea. Or he could bolt the Ren to keep it out of ult range. Because if he emblems Ren here, there's just no coming back from it. Buys back the Mr. Rainforest. Dashes out the monkey. Attacks in for 4. Bolt on monkey. Is it the Misty from the Secret Lair? I think it is. Buys Yorion. Oh, okay. It's Waterlogged Grove. The sack land. Or the canopy land. Please double check. Make sure it is Waterlogged Grove is the card. Yes, it's Waterlogged Grove. Buys it back again with Ren. Plays it, sacks it. Turning Ren 6 into a draw engine, man. It's a good way to go about it. Tapping 4 mana? Oh, okay. Plays the Royal Scions. This is actually a really cool Planeswalker from Throne of Eldraine that doesn't get played very often. I've seen it pop up a couple times in the blue-red variant of this deck. So it's a 3-mana walker, comes into 5 loyalty, which is a lot of loyalty. It upticks is looting, so you draw a card, discard a card. Its other uptick is target creature gets +2/0 against first strike and trample, which is pretty good when you're usually attacking with like stuff like Darcy that's in the air, or like a Murktide Regent. And then the ult is you draw 4 cards, and when you do, the Royal Scions do damage equal to the number of cards in your hand. So, at the very least, the ult is shoot your opponent for 4. Alright, attacks in for 3, 4, 5. Should be more, shouldn't it? I don't know if there's anything Kevin could do to get out of this situation. There are 2 pretty good walkers on the board against him that are just going to keep gaining Moises' value. Moises has 2 creatures to attack with. There's the Eternal Witness. Buyback. Maybe Lightning Bolt to kill. Nope, Solitude. Okay. Pitches the Yorion. think I would have grabbed Bolt here, honestly. Because you grab Bolt, you can Bolt the Darcy. And then it still keeps Yorion in your hand. I like the Ephemerate, that's why. Yeah, I think I'd rather go with the Bolt play. It does the same thing, but you get to keep cards in hand. Alright, give +2 and trample. We're going to attack for 4. And then, well, he's just going to either, yep, he has the Lightning Bolt. He could also just ping him for damage with a random 6 too. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But also, if you want to watch us stream live every Monday, we do Modern at 7:15. We do 4 rounds every week. Have a great rest of your day.